Going into year one under Mike Elko, Duke football was not expected to achieve much and was projected to finish towards the bottom of the ACC after a 2-9 season in 2020 and a 3-9 season in 2021. Instead, they shocked the college football world, finishing 9-4, losing all 4 games by 8 points or less, and 3 of those games were by a combined 8 points in total. A lot of that success can be credited to the culture change Elko brought to the Blue Devils football program, but can also be placed on the shoulders of their rising junior quarterback Riley Leonard. Leonard won the starting quarterback job last season and led by example, not just in the game, but on the practice field as well. He is a name you may have never heard of, but he is quickly skyrocketing up draft boards going to this year's college football season. With another strong season, Leonard could see himself drafted early in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. But how did we get here? This is the story of Riley Leonard and his rise to being viewed as one of the top NFL quarterback prospects this year. Riley Leonard was born on September 13, 2002 and grew up in Fairhope, Alabama, a suburb of Mobile, Alabama. His father Chad played college basketball at the Citadel, where he set the school record for steals in a game, steals in a season, and finished with the second most steals in a career in program history. His uncle Michael played basketball at Georgetown as well. At one point, Leonard thought his calling was going to be on the basketball court over the football field, but we will talk about that a little later. His high school coach Tim Carter first noticed Leonard in 8th grade because of his frame and size at the time. He would not really see any playing time his freshman year at Fairhope High School, but got the chance to prove himself his sophomore year against rival Daphne in the Jubilee Cup. When the veteran quarterback went down, Leonard was thrust into the starting role, leading the Pirates to a 17-0 lead before Daphne tied the game and it went into overtime. In overtime, Leonard led his team to the win, crediting his defense and special teams for the win. He would take over the starting role his junior year, but would struggle due to a young and inexperienced team around him, but would explode his senior year, throwing for 1,900 yards and 25 touchdowns, while also rushing for 500 yards on the ground. Leonard's high school coach described his impact on his team as akin to Michael Jordan. His personality and demeanor make people better, though Leonard did it with an electric smile. While Leonard performed well on the football field, many believed basketball was going to be his calling. AL.com named Leonard the Coastal Male Athlete of the Year his junior year and senior year of high school. He was a 21 points per game scorer and an all-state basketball player. Going to his junior year, Leonard had multiple Division I basketball offers and planned to play AAU that summer, looking for a Power 5 basketball offer with the idea he would commit to play basketball in college. Then March of 2020 happened, and Leonard needed to pivot. He was not on the college football radar and did not even have a 24/7 sports ranking in football. He had no offers, but Carter and his quarterback coach Dave Morris helped get his name out there. Morris is the founder of Quarterback Country and a private quarterback trainer who had worked with Leonard since he was in 5th grade. Throughout his time working with his young protege, he had several high school coaches from Alabama tell him they think Leonard is the best basketball player to ever come out of the Mobile, Alabama area. Leonard was a developmental quarterback prospect that had excellent size, developing mechanics, and fantastic athletic traits. Chris Hummer from 24/7 Sports writes, Carter remembers watching Leonard's film with Scott Frost. The then Nebraska head coach Frost watched maybe 5 minutes of football before spending 30 minutes on Leonard's basketball tape. He was so intrigued by his athleticism, Carter said. Coming out of high school, Leonard was a 3-star recruit who was the 33rd best player in Alabama and 58th best quarterback in the 2021 recruiting class. Leonard's recruitment went fast. He received several Power 5 offers in May, around the time he'd privately organized team lifting sessions in a storage locker. These offers included the likes of Duke, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Syracuse, and Vanderbilt. A month later, due to the accelerated quarterback recruiting cycle, Leonard picked Duke over Nebraska. The reason he chose football over basketball was due to his appreciation for the quarterback position. He loved being challenged and breaking down coverage, the mental side of the game, and the orchestrating of the offense. When he was the point guard, he always disliked not having the ball in his hands, and as a quarterback, he got to have the ball in his hands on every play. When Leonard committed to Duke at the time, Carter told then head coach David Cutcliffe at the time that he was going to like him more and more every day. Off the field, he made a positive impact on his community as well. From attending high school coaches' kids' birthday parties the day before he was supposed to leave for Duke, to just sharing kindness throughout the community, he is a player that is hard not to root for. Leonard would not see much playing time during Duke's 3-9 2021 season. During the Wake Forest game, though, in 2021, Leonard would get playing time during the 45-0 blowout. Duke was trying to avoid being shut out in back-to-back weeks for the first time since 2006. The drive began with a 17-yard dash from the 31-yard line, including a 39-yard throw to wide receiver Jalen Calhoun, and ended with Leonard scampering 2 yards into the end zone, all within 2 minutes. He finished the season playing in 7 games, making his lone start coming against Virginia Tech, throwing for 381 yards, a touchdown and an interception, while also rushing for 2 scores on the ground for the year. Coming off a 2-9 season in 2020 and a terrible season in 2021, Cutcliffe left the program and Duke brought in Texas A&M defensive coordinator Mike Elko. Along with Elko came offensive coordinator Kevin Johns. Johns had no idea what he had in Leonard as a quarterback. Leonard would compete for the starting quarterback job with fellow second-year quarterback Jordan Moore. Johns saw Leonard make the biggest strides in how he prepared. Leonard's work ethic was never in question. He just learned how to best direct his energy. For Leonard, that meant group film sessions with Duke's quarterback room. Leonard thrives in a collaborative environment. He also started to rewrite plays on his own, drawing them up in his free time to test himself. Leonard would separate himself from the quarterback pack when it came time for the games. According to Johns, you hate to say it, he's just a gamer. But when you put the ball down and the referee blows the whistle, his other intangibles just take over. Behind the arm of Leonard, Duke finished the season 9-4, with Riley crediting Elko's staff for the change in the program's culture. Elko didn't hope Duke would win, he expected them to win. Johns also credited Leonard for creating a spark for the offense. Leonard threw for 2,967 yards and 20 touchdowns against 6 interceptions as a sophomore, while completing 63.9% of his passes. He ran for 699 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground as well, the second most of any FBS quarterback. Leonard finished his first season as Duke's starter as the 26th ranked quarterback in ESPN's QBR metric. He was dynamic throughout the season and led by example. When Duke runs the read option in practice, Riley is not allowed to get hit, but still finishes each play out in the end zone. Then he sprints back to the huddle. He does this every time. He is panting before each snap, but continues to do it over and over again. His teammates began to take notice, and this influenced them by going harder in practice. Duke's 9 wins in 2022 were the second most in program history, but Leonard can't get the other part of the record, the 4 losses, out of his brain. All of those defeats came by a possession or less. He wants Duke to do more this coming season. He told 24/7 Sports, "I don't look at past Duke years and compare them to us. I look at the best teams. When I look around, I'm looking at the Alabamas, the Georgias, and the Clemsons of the world trying to get on their level. That's who I'm comparing ourselves to." Going to the 2023 season, the goal, according to Leonard, is to win the ACC championship. He told 24/7 Sports, "Our goal is to win. My goal on the side is to let them have the best career they can, and get as many to the NFL as possible. Hopefully, I could give those guys the opportunity to take the next step." When it comes to the 2024 NFL Draft, Riley Leonard's name is one to watch. According to Phil Steele, he is the 3rd best quarterback in the draft class. He also has received a lot of comparisons to former Duke quarterback Daniel Jones, and he does not shy away from the comparisons. He takes a lot of pride in them, telling 24/7 Sports, "That's a compliment to me. There are so many great things he did and has done that I'm trying to replicate at Duke. He's a great guy to be compared to." Leonard and Jones started working with Morris in quarterback country at a young age. Morris, when comparing the two, told 24/7 Sports, "They were athletic young. It's easy to overlook those guys because they're still growing into their bodies and being pulled into other sports. So they might not be as crisp going into their freshman, sophomore, and junior years. But as they grow, develop, and mature, all of a sudden, wow. They do have a lot of similar qualities. As a passer, they're both accurate. They both throw it on time." Leonard and Jones were AAU basketball players who thought at one point they'd play basketball in college instead of football. Leonard and Jones were late risers when it came to football recruitment and committed to Duke. Jones is 6'5", 215 pounds. Leonard is 6'4", 205 pounds. Leonard and Jones are plus athletes and physical runners. Jones was drafted by the New York Giants in the first round a few years back and just secured a second contract with the G-Men. It will be interesting to see whether Leonard will find himself in the same spot next spring. Riley Leonard is a name to keep an eye on, not just for the NFL draft, but also the upcoming football season. He is still developing, and if I had to guess, will be even better this season for the Blue Devils. What do you think? Who's a quarterback to watch this coming football season? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more college football content. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.